This is Pioneer's DMH-WT3800NEX. This is a floating screen AM/FM radio in-dash receiver with a 9-inch LED capacitive touchscreen. The DMH-WT3800NEX works with wireless Apple CarPlay when connected to a compatible iPhone or with a wired connection through USB. The DMH-WT3800NEX works with wireless Android Auto when connected to a compatible Android-based phone or with a wired connection through USB. It has 3 sets of RCA outputs for operating external amplifiers and is backup camera ready and Sirius XM ready. The USB port can be used to connect your phone and play back high-resolution audio music files and high-definition video files. The system features web link functions and built-in Bluetooth for both hands-free calling and wireless streaming audio. Let's take a look and see what's in the box. All right, you can see this is a big box for a big screen, and we'll pop this open. And the first thing we get here is the wire harness. Now, we'll use the wire harness to connect power and ground and speakers and all of the electrical connections from the in-dash receiver over to the vehicle. Next up is our input and output wire harness. And we'll give you a more careful look at this, all the inputs and outputs, a little later in the video. Next up, we have the USB extension cable. Now, the USB port is on the back of this receiver, and so we include a USB extension cable so you can bring that USB port up into the passenger compartment of your vehicle. Next up is the GPS antenna and the mounting square. There's GPS antenna mounting square. GPS is super important for operating wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Very, very important part of it. Next up is the Bluetooth microphone. Now, the Bluetooth microphone here is used for making hands-free Bluetooth phone calls, but also all of your commands for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay happen through this microphone. Next up, we have 2 different brackets. Now, there are 2 different brackets here used for mounting the screen. The first bracket is for creating a floating screen installation, and the second bracket is to create a direct mount installation. So, a floating screen bracket and a direct mount bracket. And we'll show you how both of these brackets work a little bit later in the video. And here is the spacer right here to give you the correct depth for your screen and the type of dash that you have in your vehicle. And then we have a number of about 20 or 25 or so mounting screws for both the screen and for the in-dash receiver. And we'll take a look at those. Okay, also here we have the quick start guide. There's our quick start guide. And finally is the warranty card. There's our warranty information. All right, so let's get the receiver and the screen up out of here. All right, this is the in-dash receiver, and we'll give you a careful look at this thing. You can see it's a 1-DIN receiver. We'll give you a very careful look at this and how all of the connections work on the back. And finally, here is the 9-inch capacitive touchscreen. There's the screen there. Okay. The DMH-WT3800NEX is a 1-DIN receiver with a 9-inch floating screen. That means the 3800NEX can be installed in nearly any vehicle that has a 1-DIN opening or larger, with the use of readily available dash installation kits made to fit your particular vehicle's dash opening. The screen has many different installation options. It can be mounted directly to the installation chassis, or it can be used as a floating screen and adjusted forward or back, right and left, higher and lower to suit many different vehicle dash configurations and layouts. The screen can be angled for glare-free viewing from the driver's position. A heavy-duty mounting bracket holds the screen securely to the 1-DIN receiver-sized control unit. The front panel of the Pioneer DMH-WT3800NEX has a simple layout. All of the control buttons are built into the 9-inch capacitive touchscreen right here. The volume control is here. and the home key was here. This is the voice activation key. The capacitive touchscreen measures 10 inches diagonal with a 9-inch video playback area. The DMH-WT3800NEX is an audio-video digital media receiver, and that means it doesn't play CDs or DVDs. On the back panel of the DMH-WT3800NEX, we'll start off with the GPS antenna input right here. The optional iDataLink Maestro RR OEM integration unit will plug in right here. And please note this port can also be used for the optional Metro Access OEM integration unit. Here is the USB Type-A port that can be used for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. The USB port can also be used for high-res audio music, high-definition movies, and still images through a USB flash drive. And remember, we include a USB extension in the box to bring that USB port up into the passenger compartment of your vehicle. You'll use this port for the optional SXV300 tuner available from SiriusXM. This black jack can be used to operate your steering wheel controls with the use of an optional third-party steering wheel control adapter. And this is where you'll plug in the power and ground wire harness connected to the vehicle. The Pioneer DMH-WT3800NEX has a built-in amplifier that's designed to operate up to 4 speakers in your vehicle. And on the other side, we start off with the Bluetooth microphone, and that'll plug in right here. The Bluetooth microphone is included with the in-dash receiver. The microphone is used for making voice commands to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and for hands-free Bluetooth phone calls. The AM/FM antenna from the vehicle will plug in right here. And the white port here is for the input and output wire harness that I showed you earlier in the video. So let's take a closer look at the input-output wire harness. On the input-output wire harness, there are 3 sets of RCA outputs for operating external amplifiers, and these are 2-volt RCA outputs. They can be set up in standard mode for front, rear, and subwoofer outputs, or for more control and better sound quality, network mode, with high, mid, and low outputs. The brown RCA jack here is the dedicated backup camera input. The DMH-WT3800NEX is designed to operate with the optional ND-BC8 backup camera from Pioneer. The auxiliary input here can be used for both video and audio input. There are 2 yellow RCAs. The first yellow RCA is the rear monitor output, and the second yellow RCA is the second camera input. And finally, the external mute is here. And that is Pioneer's DMH-WT3800NEX. And what's in the box?